We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. So this was the scene a moment ago. The Cardinals emerging from their tunnel. And we are ready for football as the Cards get set to match up with their opponents. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Tyler Bass about ready to get us going. And this one is underway here on EA Sports. Take it in at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
You talk about the pause that they I think it's coming the perfect time of the year for them, isn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He was able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
Let's pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time. Let's get off the field. He's checking.
Oh, nice move. And they worked this well upfield across the 45.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts. Everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Three buzz. Hey, check Mike 11.
A shotgun snap, Fields. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. And Charles, for this defense, yeah, they're a confident bunch. Some may say maybe too confident at times. How do you think that they approach a game like this when they're taking on a team that's lost 4 straight?
Well, if they're anything like their head coach, you know they're relying on that confidence. You and I both were sort of surprised at his weekly press conference when he was asked about this being a trap game. And he's almost boasting that he didn't see anything to worry about. That surprised both of us in a big way because we know that could be a dangerous tactic because I can guarantee you the guys on the other side, they heard that, and they're looking for anything to galvanize them.
And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. So out comes the offense now with a long field ahead of them. And they will be led out by their 6th.
He's had such a sensational season to this point, leading the NFL in passing yards. He's been helped out a lot by an outstanding set of receivers, and he's quick to give them credit. But I think even they would tell you that he's the guy that makes this offense go.
In your face.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. And he'll be taken down at the 18. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. He'll look to throw.
Here we go, D. Here I come.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, he figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
On 3rd down, Britt, and he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I go right at him with another momentum play. I go quickly and attack them, because right now they probably have their heads down.
And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Oilers have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, for talking about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. That time a 9-play drive, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league.
And a loose football. Escape, gets by him, and now a little daylight. He's at the 30.
Wow. Is not free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now a throw here to his running back. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it'll make it second down. Here's Fields. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup at 4. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1.
4 down, check, 4 down, 4 down.
Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will will not escape, and that is not going to get it done. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Either not the tie, but you know.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On play action, they'll throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Well, this offense, Charles, well, we've talked about how well they played all season. Sitting now at 13-0 and a finish line for a perfect regular season. That's in sight. Some in the media this week were pointing back to the 07 Patriots. Of course, remember, they finished the regular season unbeaten, but they were tested multiple times in that final month plus.
Yeah, but something like 4 of their last 6 wins were one-possession games, and they played like a team that was trying to protect something instead of chasing something. And that's what happens when you have an undefeated record. So it behooves you as a team, get a couple blowouts in there so you get a chance to relax and breathe. But that's much easier said than done.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
It was Kwity Paye who made the stop coming off the edge.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. After 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And this will be incomplete. Both players with a shot on it that time. Neither coming away with it.
I may be an analyst, but I'm also a fan. I love it when people take the big shots downfield, but he was under a lot of duress. And I think that forced the incompletion downfield. Didn't have a real good chance to find his target.
And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40.
That was 4th and what we would call long in that situation, wasn't it? That wasn't 4th and inches, was it?
No, I mean, you get in those situations 4th and 3, 4th and 4. That's a lot to, what would you say, a lot of pizza left in that box.
It certainly is. Not everyone dove in on that one. In today's NFL, this is a passing down, all right? This is not a running down. That takes a lot of guts to call that play and even better execution.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Let's go. 19, Tiger, 19, Tiger. You gonna see me in your nightmare. 70 range, me in your nightmare. 54's Mike, 54's Mike. Check, watch.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And oh, that one going to wind up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. 3rd down coming up. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. 40 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, though, if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
On the jet sweep, here comes Fuller. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Will Fuller, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Oilers are able to extend their lead. Well, we've talked about it before. You know, this jet sweep, something a lot of teams like to run nowadays, and this one winds up in the end zone.
And it is all about creating different ways to get the ball in the hands of your playmakers. And wasn't it interesting that prior to this game, the head coach told us, I saw this sitting in my chair watching a Tuesday night college game and decided to implement it myself.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The football back in the hands of the Arizona Cardinals. They, of course, coming into this one in the midst of a tough losing streak. They did get helped out by the open week last week, and in talking with him, all indications were, Charles, that was a very helpful break.
Yeah, I know a lot of teams, coaches, they hate taking time off in the midst of a losing streak because they think they have to stay on their toes and punch their way out of it. But occasionally, you get that open week, you step back, evaluate what's been going.
It got his man complete. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Cardinals. Big play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Cardinals are able to... strike ability. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is down to 4. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
All you get is a headache. All you get is a headache. Mike's by 4. Mike's by 4. Mike's by 4.
They'll drop to throw. This will be caught. It's Waddle. Touchdown. Jalen Waddle, 83 yards. And the Oilers are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes it a 21-10 game. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Arizona's offense back out and ready to go. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here.
That's what the screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go out. You scout to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
That's caught by Gabriel Davis. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Let him know, let him know.
Now a first down throw, Fields. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Let's go, baby. 45.
On first down, it's Fields.
Let's go, D.
He finds his man, complete. That's fourth. And down inside the 15 he goes.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The first down run got 5. Here's second and 5.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey,
Fields to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight.
Fields now to throw. This is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. A great play there. Touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year. And the Cardinals draw a bit closer. Extra point right down. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there, calling it the 26. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
They go play action here on first down. And he is going to be taken down. As that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth. He's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
A big play that time on the catch and run. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. from the gun. He'll hand this off. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. 2nd and 5. They'll look to throw here. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Watch the girl.
He'll look to throw. Looking for Britt. Intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This from 54 yards away. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish. As it's time to
Start to the second half. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? Taken in at the 3. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Now here's the signal caller. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be license to take some shots downfield. Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of it.
Entering settings screen, you have 19 options. Menu narration option is set to off is selected.
That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check. Watch.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
That one was tipped in the air and became almost a 50-50 ball. No one came up with it, so it turned into an incompletion. But remember, on the previous drive, he threw an interception. I think that one almost caused well, not almost. I think that one caused a mental flashback for everyone. Threw the pick before. Could this turn into a second one? And how would that alter the game for him?
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll maneuver his... for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
You have a vision right now of everything that was discussed in the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
69 yards rushing for him now.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition. This drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense get a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Check nickel.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, it's apparent the defense understands the situation. They have to keep them out of the end zone here. That's a great start by them. A loss on that play. Can they force them into a field goal attempt and still get their off?
And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Oilers take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the 2nd half. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
On 2nd and 10, Fields. Caught right side, Davis. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
Haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully. that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
He gets away from one.
And they did get a little gain on this play, but all in all, a nice job defensively against the touch pass. They were able to string it out towards the sideline and never let him get the corner and turn it upfield for a bigger chunk of yardage.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Now Fields. And this is going to be incomplete. He's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now it's Fields. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Check back 11, check back 11.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. And this is off target to anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Down here in the 3rd quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the 2nd miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They'll set up a throw. Able to hit his target, Claypool. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Got a man, it's Waddle, complete.
Run it right down.
Touchdown! Jalen Waddle with touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game. And the Oilers are able to widen their advantage. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The football going back over to Arizona now. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Check back 11, check back 11.
Here's Fields. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. We're on to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 2nd and 6. Fields. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Fields. And this throw incomplete. The defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Cut. Fires the mic. Yo.
They snap it to Fields. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that one a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete. Mike McCarthy took the gamble, didn't pay off. And as a result, possession switches hands. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Been a very strong performance for them, really on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
And if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
Shift. 19 tight. Hey, what's up? Check Mike 54. There we go.
And looked like some movement there. Well, this O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because if we were grading them on their performance in this game, a lot of pluses in their boxes so far.
54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. You better be afraid of me.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to take another shot here. Oh, a leap, and he will make the catch. And a huge play that time. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
They'll keep it on the ground. Britt. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Oilers add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And they open the lead up now to 25. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. To throw is Fields. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw, Fields. That one caught by Ellison. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
45, 45. Here we go.
Back to throw again. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
My five. You can't block me. You can't block me.
To the air again, Fields. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Barker. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. And a nice milestone reached on that last throw is here late in the season. He goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
He'll lose a yard there instead of getting 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Rip right.
So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
What's the old adage, be quick but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
And that is caught. Touchdown Cardinals. Jamar Chase is 19. And the Cardinals get a bit closer. Point after try forthcoming. And that'll cut the lead down now to 18. So that was a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this one won't bounce their way. It's covered up by the hands team. The 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown. A big play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Oilers are closing in on a 14-0 record as they extend their lead. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. It's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And they open the lead up now to 25. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Cardinal offense here ready to take over. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Now here's a throw that's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great work.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the defense. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Completes it right side to Brent. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Second and 4. That's going to be caught by Pitts. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Now another timeout called for by the offense. With just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future...
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And he'll be out of bounds well short of the goal line, so the attempt at the fake extra point unsuccessful.
I know they're not asking me, but I'll give you my opinion anyway. I think it's time to erase that play from the call sheet. I guess they figure with the big lead they can experiment a little bit. But all in all, just go ahead and put that play on ice.
This one fielded at the 5. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. To throw on 2nd and 10. Fields. Over the middle, complete. That's Barker. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. On 1st down, Fields. And he's going to get swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call.
Check back 11. I got you, punk. Hey, check.
One last throw here for Fields. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive